I'm Calli, and this is Wellness Around the Yough. Today we are here at Yough Park. I'm with Lauren Stepanowski. I said that right? Right? Okay. We're going to be talking about Beauty Counter, and she's going to give us an idea of some safer skincare ideas, what Beauty Counter has to offer, and some laws and things like that that you might not know about that are pretty helpful, I think, to know about. And maybe I should say lack of laws.
Yes.
I guess.
That's a better way to put it.
Yeah. About our skincare that you might not know. So we're going to go ahead and start talking about that. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Have you always kind of been into like maybe health and wellness, doing things a little bit more naturally?
Yeah. In high school, I always ran a lot,
Okay.
and then going into college, I majored in rehabilitation science, and I minored in fitness. So I did a lot of working out and running and things like that. I was a cheerleader at the University of Pittsburgh, so I was always kind of trying to be healthier and things like that, and active. And ran a couple of marathons when I was in college, and then went on to get my doctorate of physical therapy from the University of Pittsburgh. So I kind of was always in that fitness world. And then once I got into the working world, kind of transpired into more healthy eating and things like that, and started really looking at the quality of your food and eating organic and different things like that, and kind of myth busting the standard American diet type of thing, why it is what it is. And it was really interesting to me, so that kind of spilled out into learning about skincare and different industries and things like that, and trying to kind of make everything more healthy. And that's how I learned about Beauty Counter.
You learned about it from a paleo author, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so we both learned about it basically from the same person as a paleo author. Yeah.
She's a blogger and author.
Yeah.
She wrote the book Eat the Yolks, which is a really good book if you're into like reading and learning about like myth busting why everything is the way it is as far as the American diet and everything goes. So it's really interesting book. But yeah, that's how we both learned about it.
Very cool. So what kind of made you take the dive into going with Beauty Counter?
Well, I've been using it for maybe a little over 2 years, and I had tried doing the DIY type of skincare, and it just wasn't really quite cutting it. I was having a little bit of acne, getting older and things, and I wanted something that was going to, help with those things and also not be harmful to my skin. And that's where, through her, I found Beauty Counter, and started off with just, I think, a moisturizer and the foundation, and just kind of kept building my collection. And then this year in January, I decided to join as a consultant. Had a little bit of extra time. I had gone part-time at my job, so I felt...
You just had your son a year ago, right?
Yeah, he's 13 months old, yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, so it's nice to... They also have a baby line. I don't have any of it here in front of us, but so I started using all that on him as well, and had really good results with it, so yeah.
I have a lot of clients. I do all green cleaning, and I have a lot of clients that actually use Beauty Counter because obviously they're more into a natural way of living, and they use it on their kids, and they absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's been great.
So tell me about the company.
So we are pretty young company, just about 5 years old, and we're kind of trying to lead the way in safer skincare, get the word out there. They're not just about even selling their products, it's about education. They're a mission-based company. It's a mission to get more laws passed. We've lobbied in Washington. Back in March, we took 2 consultants from every state to Washington, D.C., and each of them met with the representatives from their state and basically lobbied for more laws. The last time a federal law was passed for any sort of health protection in the beauty industry was 1938. And since then, about 80,000 chemicals have been in the market, and nearly none of them have been tested for safety on humans. So it's really important to kind of update those laws, because companies are just really allowed to use any of these things and not notify you about,
There's no restrictions at all or anything.
There are some, but so for example, Beauty Counter has a never list of 1,500 chemicals, I think it's actually a little bit over now, but we say about 1,500 chemicals that we'll never use in any of our products. And these are ones that have been found to be harmful, things like parabens, polyethylene glycols, fragrances. They've been found to be carcinogenic. Some of them are hormone disruptors, skin irritants, can make asthma worse, a wide range of things. So we don't use any of those. About 1,500 chemicals. The next best set of regulations is in Europe. They've banned about 1,400 chemicals. Then Canada banned about 600, and the U.S. is banning only 30. So
Beauty Counter bans the most.
yes,
And
1,500.
yeah, and then the U.S. alone just only bans 30.
So
Yeah.
there's only 30 chemicals out of the 80,000 that are in production and use in products like this that have been banned in the United States. Meanwhile, many more have been found to be, harmful
Yeah.
and things, but companies are allowed to use them because they're not banned, and the FDA has very little say basically over what they can use. They can't recall something even if they know that it's been harmful because there's just not the legislation for them to do that.
That's the idea of going to Washington and trying to get legislation
Right.
behind that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me about fragrances, because I actually didn't have any clue until I joined one of your parties.
So the word fragrance on a label isn't really restricted at all. They can put any combination, I forget the exact number, but it's thousands of chemicals that can be used in fragrances. So when you see the word fragrance on a label, you don't know that it's not just one chemical. It can be hundreds, it can be a couple, it could be 1,000, it can be any number of those chemicals put together to make that fragrance. So that's why when people get allergy testing and things done, fragrance really pops up on there quite frequently because there are so many chemicals that it could be that there's no way to tell, if it's doing harm or not. So that's really a frequent cause of skin irritation and allergies and things like that.
So that's something good to look for.
Yeah, and if you look even on the most natural things that you think you're buying the right thing, fragrance is on there.
I got a charcoal scrub from somewhere, and after watching you on something, I looked and I thought, oh my gosh, this is crazy. It's just supposed to be a charcoal scrub.
Yeah.
It had like 4 ingredients on the label, but really when it said fragrance, it probably had like 400.
Yeah, I had gotten a lot of Burt's Bees for my son when he was born, and then when I joined on as a consultant, and they were talking about fragrance, and I was like, oh, I never thought to look for that. I didn't really think it was anything bad, and I looked at his Burt's Bees and it had fragrance in it.
Yeah.
So I quit using that on him, and it did help his skin not be so dry. So obviously it's doing something,
Of course.
But we're also a certified B Corporation, and that's part of our mission too. That means that you equally value the planet, people, and profit. So they're for-profit companies that are putting the planet and safety of the people at the forefront. Yeah, and there's a couple other ones that are like that too. If you look on a label, you'll see certified B Corporation on it. So that's a good thing to look for when you're shopping. I think Seventh Generation is one, so that's an example of like a more mainstream company that's a certified B Corporation.
So saying, we'll get into products, but saying that it is good, an environmentally friendly product, the makeup remover wipes are fully biodegradable, correct?
They are fully biodegradable, and they're one of the newer products. It took us a long time to be able to develop them because of the nature of a makeup remover wipe is in the packaging, and it's the perfect.
Wipes are very hard in general they don't biodegrade at all.
Right. Yeah. And they're the perfect breeding ground for bacteria, so it has to have a lot of things in it to make sure that doesn't happen. So it's really hard to get them safe for your skin, and most dermatologists actually recommend that you rinse your face after you use one of a standard brand because there are so many things in them. Our sunscreen is another good example of being better for the planet. Most spray sunscreens or even lotion that are non-mineral sunscreens are going to have oxybenzone or some derivative of that in them.
Okay.
And actually, Hawaii just banned oxybenzone from the islands because it's destroying the ecosystems around the islands. It destroys coral reefs.
I think I did see that somewhere, because it's getting into the ocean.
Yeah, so when you have it on your body and then you go into the water, the oxybenzone is getting into the water and it's destroying the ecosystem.
Okay.
So if it's destroying coral reef, it's probably not too good for your skin either. And so, none of our sunscreens have oxybenzone in them. They're all mineral-based, non-nano zinc oxide. The non-nano is important because zinc is a smaller molecule, so non-nano means that it's not a smaller molecule. Zinc is bigger, so it doesn't actually get absorbed into our bloodstream as easily as the non-zinc.
That's really great.
Yeah, and so I really like our sunscreen spray. I haven't ever used anything like it because, normally mineral sunscreen is really thick and chalky and hard to rub in. And this is a non-aerosol. It's an air-based spray, and it's just a nice fine mist that's really easy to rub in.
You use it on your son, right?
Yeah.
And he doesn't seem to mind it at all.
No, it's really easy because he can be playing and you can, mist him and then just rub it in a little bit. And because it's not a clear spray, it's the mineral, so it's white. You can see where you sprayed, so you don't miss any spots.
Giant red spots on you.
Giant red spots. Yeah.
Very cool. So they offer a huge variety of products.
We have about 130 products. I just have a small sample of things here. We can start, most people start with the makeup because I think we're just more used to spending money on makeup.
Yeah.
It's something that you're used to buying, so it's easier.
Yeah.
So one of the big things with makeup is, especially like a colored powder and things, we'll start with that, is heavy metals. And so you're not going to see it as an ingredient on the makeup because it's actually a byproduct of the production.
Oh, okay.
And heavy metals are harder for our body to detoxify. So it's really something you want to avoid getting into your body in the first place because it's harder for your body to process it out. So all of our color cosmetics are tested at the end of, every batch is tested at the end of production to make sure that there's not any heavy metals in there.
Is that a usual thing from the test at the other companies?
No, I'm sure there are some that do it, but it would be something you would have to ask. Not very many. I don't think very many mainstream companies would be doing that, no.
Okay.
And so this is just one of our eyeshadow palettes here. This is the bigger eyeshadow palette we have, the
Very
Ultimate
cool.
Nudes, yeah. We just released, I don't have it with me, but we just released 3 new eyeshadow palettes too that are 6 eyeshadow shades. So it's a little bit more affordable too, you know, if you don't want to do the whole eyeshadow palette. And they have those, you can buy them separately or you can buy them and they call it a Get the Look, and it comes with 4 products. So it's a good way to start swapping out. We also have another one that is with our foundations. It's called, why can't I think of the name of it now? But it comes with our foundation, the concealer, blush, and eyebrow pencil and mascara.
Something in 5.
Yes, flawless in 5. You know it better than I do. Yes, flawless in 5. And so those come out to about a 20 to 25% discount if you buy them all together. So it's a nice way to swap things out.
It's good that they do that because I know for me, I kind of just wanted to throw everything away.
Yeah.
So it's nice that they do that, so it makes it a little bit easier kind of transferring.
Separately, or you can, you know, do kind of more of a whole swap. We can talk a little bit about lipstick next. We have a couple different kinds of lipstick. And the main thing with lipstick is, one of the big ones is, well, a lot of them have fragrances in them.
Yeah.
So, you know, putting that on your lips.
Who would have thought that?
I know. And also lead, which is a heavy metal.
Okay.
But they did a study, I think it was in 2016, of a lot of lipstick companies, and they found lead in like 66% of them. And again, you're not going to find it on a product label because it's a byproduct of the production of it. Yeah. So, and also the problem with it is there's not really regulation, and because it is fairly small amount of lead, they won't do anything about it. But the problem is most people put lipstick on multiple times a day and every day, so it's this constant small exposure that's going to build up over time. And for children, there's no safe exposure to lead. So it's a neurotoxin. It can cause hormonal imbalances and a wide range of things.
And we're always kissing our kids.
Right, you know, getting into your lipstick, kissing your kids. So, you know, it's something you really don't want them to be playing in lead. So even if it's a small amount. And some of them actually had pretty close to the limit of what it would be. I think it's 10 parts per million is the limit of what is considered not safe. And some of them were up near 7. So that's really not that far off, especially if you're applying it multiple times a day. And that's the thing, you know, with everything. In our standard products, even if the amount of a chemical is fairly small, you know, most people use at least 9 up to 12 products a day. So it's this small level exposure over time that builds up in your bloodstream and, you know, can really start to cause problems over time.
And is it a quick, so once you kind of switch, are you getting rid of these things right away, the toxins and the chemicals? Or?
Like I said, heavy metals are going to take a lot longer period of time. Things like parabens, polyethylene glycols, those actually flush out of your body pretty fast.
Oh, okay.
So I forget what the percentage is. I think it's at least half, but after they did a study and they tested at the start when people were using standard products, and then after a week, and I think at least half of it was out of the system. So, you know, if you swap out, you know, these kind of, the parabens, polyethylene glycols, that will flush out of your system fairly fast. It's the heavy metals that stay in for a while.
Show me what else you have here.
Okay, so we'll go through our skincare lines. So we have our 3 main lines. All of them come with kind of the standard cleanse, prep, protect system. So we're going to have a cleanser, a day cream, a night cream, an eye cream, and some kind of toner or mist. Okay. So our standard one here for any skin type, no real like skin concerns, is our Nourishing collection. This is what I started with. This was the first thing that they developed as far as skincare goes. It's a really nice collection. It's like a coconut oil based type of collection. Yeah, it's really nice. The nice thing about when you swap out to these kind of products is that they're really concentrated. There's no fillers or anything like that. You know, it's everything that's in the product has a purpose to be in the product. So really, it lasts such a long time. I mean, that one pump, you can see how much of it is.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
it would be plenty to cover your whole face. So I
You probably
usually
have this a while, right?
yeah, I've had
Yeah.
this since January. So I mean, everything lasts a really long time. And like some other products, there's no auto ship or anything like that.
Oh,
you only buy
awesome.
when you need it. You
Yeah,
know,
that's
they're not
great.
meant to only last 30 days or 60 days or whatever. We hope that they last you months because
Very long time.
yeah. And then the next line that I have a couple examples of here is the Rejuvenating Collection. And this is
Okay.
more for aging. It has vitamin C in it, which is great for brightening the
Awesome,
skin.
okay.
It's the serum especially, I feel like, is very firming to the skin. And then the Countermatch Collection. And this is our newest collection.
Okay.
It is, the lotion is an adaptive moisture lotion. So if you looked at a standard face lotion under a microscope, it would be round circular molecules.
Okay.
If you looked at our skin under a microscope, it's more of what's called a laminar cell. And they developed this moisture lotion to have a laminar structure. So it's more closely like
Awesome.
skin. So
Yeah.
it absorbs immediately. Yeah, it's really, really nice. And it's meant to kind of release moisture through the day. So
They do a lot of studying to get their products just right.
Yes,
Yeah.
a lot, yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
yeah, so that one's probably been about 5 years in the making since we're
Yeah.
5 years old. Yeah. So and we already kind of talked about the makeup remover wipes. And then we have what's called our Beauty Counter Plus collection.
Okay.
And these are kind of like the heavy hitters, I would say. Like if you have more skin concerns,
Yeah.
they kind of take care of, you know, different oily, you know, that sort of thing,
Yeah.
or brightening. So I have the number 3 collection here. This is probably the most popular. This is our charcoal mask. Oh, I have it backwards. But this is definitely a bestseller. It's
Yeah.
awesome. I mean, when you put it on and it dries, you can actually see it going into your pores. You can see where the problem areas
Very
are. It stays
cool.
a little darker, and yeah, your skin just feels great after you take it off. It's very
I'm
smoothing.
gonna try that one.
Yeah, it's great if you have oily skin at all.
Yeah.
And then our facial oils, these have been featured in a lot of magazines. Facial oil is like a big thing, you know. People are afraid that it's gonna make you more greasy to put oil on.
opposite.
No, it doesn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
your skin needs oil. We're supposed to have oils, and these are all formulated to help with different concerns. So we have the number 3, that it goes with the charcoal mask here. Whoops. And it's for balancing, you know, if you have kind of a combination skin. It smells really good. It's nice and light. Then we have the number 1. And that is for brightening. It has vitamin C in it
Oh, okay,
also.
great.
And that one I would say is probably, if you have like any sort of dullness or anything to your skin, any aging or anything, that one you notice like instant results.
Oh, okay, great.
And then the next thing I want to talk about is our this is brand new overnight resurfacing peel.
Oh, okay.
This I feel like anyone who is like 30 plus should have. You notice a difference right away. So it's not actually a peel, nothing comes off. You cleanse your face at night. You put it on and sleep in it, and then the next day you exfoliate your skin with some sort of cleanser.
That's easy.
And yeah, it's like a glow the next
Yeah.
day. It's really, really nice.
Very cool. And all these products are lasting you a while.
Oh yeah, a long time. At least I would say a minimum of 4 months for everything, up to 6. Even some people last like up to 10
That's
months.
really
some of
good,
them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. So if people wanted to find out where to get this from, where would they go?
You can go to www.beautycounter.com/Lauren Stepanosky.
Okay.
LaurенStepanosky. Not an easy one to spell. Yeah, but we can link to it on whatever Facebook you put it
Okay.
on or anything. Yeah.
And then do you have a Facebook page where people can kind of get
I
tips
do,
or anything
yeah,
like that?
yeah. The group that I have, that's a private group. I have to have it a private group because to offer any sort of special through me, it has to be private.
Oh, okay.
So it's called Healthy Women Plus Beauty Counter, I think, with Lauren Stepanosky. But if you look up Beauty Counter with Lauren Stepanosky, you'll find it on there. Or could just add me as a friend and I can add you to the group.
Okay, very cool. And then again, like we said, this isn't it. There's a kids line and a baby line.
And a sunscreen, yeah. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff, yeah. And I'll also be at Wellness on the Yough, so they can
Yes.
stop by and see
So,
me there, yeah.
We like to come down here because wellness is going to be down here, and it's not going to be raining at all. It's going to be beautiful and sunny. But yeah, so you'll be here at Wellness on September 1st, and people will be able to kind of check stuff out, and you can get more information then too.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome, very cool. Well, thank you for joining me
Yeah,
today.
thank you.
I want to thank Lauren for joining us today and telling us all about Beauty Counter and the laws and regulations that we do have and maybe we lack a little bit of. If you want to check her out, don't forget to look on Facebook for Lauren Stepanosky. She's also going to be at Wellness on the Yough this year. Remember, that's September 1st. It's 11 to 4. So if you're interested and you want to see some of the products in person or talk to her in person, that'll be a really great chance to do that. So thank you guys for joining us today and letting me be your river guide to wellness. River Guide out.